Episode 20.
C1 level.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Daily 5 Words. In fact, this is the 20th episode of this series. So if you've been following along since the beginning, by the end of this episode, you should have learned 100 important English words. On this channel, our goal is to help you learn 5 new English words every day in a fun and easy way.
We usually start with a short story where these words are used naturally, and then we explain each word in detail so you can understand it and use it confidently. Today's words are scrutinize, articulate, derail, accentuate, reiterate.
So I'm going to tell you today's story. While you listen, pay attention to how these words are used naturally in real situations. Once the story is finished, we'll break down each word with examples and tips so you can use them like a pro in your own conversations. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. You can also download the PDF and audio files for this episode from the description below. Repeating the audio during your day is one of the most effective ways to improve your listening and lock in that new vocabulary. All right, without further ado, let's jump into today's story. In a busy design studio in Valencia, a young graphic designer named Elena was preparing for the most important presentation of her career. Her team had been working for months on a new branding project, and today they would finally present it to a major international client. Before the meeting, Elena sat quietly at her desk, carefully scrutinizing every slide, every color choice, and every logo variation.
She wanted to make sure that nothing looked out of place, because even a small mistake could derail the entire pitch. When the meeting began, the client asked several challenging questions. Elena took a deep breath and began to articulate their ideas clearly and confidently. She explained the concept, the design choices, and the strategy behind every visual element. Her calm and precise explanation impressed everyone in the room. As the presentation continued, Elena used small design tricks to accentuate the unique aspects of the brand. She showed how certain colors created emotion, how typography shaped identity, and how layout guided the viewer's eye. Her attention to detail made the brand appear modern, elegant, and memorable.
The client seemed almost convinced, but Elena knew that strong communication required repetition. So she reiterated the project's most important message, that the new design would help the company stand out in a competitive market. She repeated it gently but firmly, making sure the idea stayed in their minds. When the meeting ended, the client smiled and said they were ready to move forward.
Elena walked out of the room feeling relieved, proud, and energized. She had managed to scrutinize the work carefully, articulate the vision clearly, avoid anything that could derail the pitch, accentuate the brand's strengths, and reiterate the key message until it made a lasting impression. It turned out to be the most successful presentation of her career. Word number 1, scrutinize. Part of speech, verb. Meaning, to examine something extremely carefully and in great detail, often to find errors, understand it deeply, or evaluate its quality. It is stronger than simply checking something. It involves careful observation, analysis, and attention to even the smallest parts. Example sentences. The manager scrutinized the report before approving it. Scientists scrutinize data to make sure their results are accurate. Every detail of the contract was scrutinized by the legal team. Synonyms: inspect, analyze, examine closely, investigate, study carefully. Word family: scrutiny, noun, close and careful examination, especially when looking for errors or evaluating something at a high standard. The company's finances came under public scrutiny. Scrutinizing, adjective, describes someone or something that examines carefully or critically. Example, she felt nervous under his scrutinizing gaze. Common uses and phrases. Scrutinize details. To check every small part. Example, the editor scrutinized every detail of the article. Scrutinize behavior. To carefully observe how someone acts. Teachers often scrutinize behavior during exams. Scrutinize evidence. To analyze information deeply to find the truth. Detectives scrutinize evidence before drawing conclusions. Other information for learners. Often used in academic, scientific, and professional contexts when you want to show deep and careful analysis.
Word number 2, articulate. Part of speech is verb, meaning to express thoughts, ideas, or feelings clearly and effectively in speech or writing. It also means to pronounce words clearly. It is used when someone can communicate well and make their meaning easy to understand. Example sentences. She articulated her concerns during the meeting. The speaker articulated the company's goals very clearly. He struggled to articulate his emotions. Synonyms: express, communicate, convey clearly, voice, state clearly. Word family. Articulation, noun. The clear expression of ideas or the clarity of speech sounds. Example, good articulation is essential for public speaking. Articulate, adjective, describes a person who speaks clearly and effectively. Example, she is an articulate presenter. Common uses and phrases. Articulate ideas. To express thoughts clearly. Example, he articulated his ideas confidently during the interview. Articulate concerns. To express worries or problems clearly. Example, employees articulated their concerns about the new policy. Articulate a plan. To explain how something will be done. Example, the leader articulated a long-term plan for the team. Other information for learners. Useful for presentations, interviews, and academic writing. Shows strong communication ability. Word number 3. Derail. Part of speech, verb, meaning to cause a train to come off the tracks, or more commonly, to stop a plan, process, or activity from continuing successfully. It is used metaphorically to describe sudden failure or disruption. Example sentences. The scandal derailed his political career. Technical problems derailed the project timeline. One small mistake can derail the entire plan. Synonyms: disrupt, sabotage, obstruct, hinder, throw off. Word family. Derailment, noun. The act of something going off track or a plan being disrupted. Example, the derailment of the project disappointed everyone involved. Derailed, adjective. Describes something that has been stopped, ruined, or thrown off course. Example, their plans were completely derailed by unexpected events. Common uses and phrases. Derail a plan, to ruin or interrupt a strategy. Example, the sudden budget cut derailed their plan. Derail progress, to slow or stop advancement. Example, technical issues derailed progress for several days. Derail a conversation, to change the topic unexpectedly or disrupt it. His comment derailed the conversation. Other information for learners. Very common in business, teamwork, politics, and personal development contexts. Derail and drill look somewhat similar when written, but they are completely different in pronunciation and meaning. Derail is pronounced derail and means to cause something to go off its planned path, especially a train leaving the tracks, or more figuratively, to interrupt or spoil a plan, conversation, or process. Drill, pronounced drill, refers to making holes using a tool or practicing something repeatedly to build skill, such as a military drill or a fire drill.
In spelling, derail includes D and rail, clearly suggesting movement off a track, while drill has double L and is much shorter. In short, derail is about causing something to fail or go off course, while drill is about making holes or repeating practice to improve performance.
Word number 4, accentuate. Part of speech, verb. Meaning, to make something more noticeable or to highlight its importance. It is often used to emphasize features, qualities, ideas, or differences. Example sentences. The lighting accentuated the beauty of the room. Her dress accentuated her confidence. The report accentuates the need for change. Synonyms: emphasize, highlight, stress, bring out, intensify.
Word family. Accentuated, an adjective, made more noticeable or emphasized. Example, the designer used a belt to create an accentuated waistline. Accentuating, adjective or verb form, highlighting something actively. Example, the new colors accentuating the brand's identity. Common uses and phrases. Accentuate differences, to highlight contrasts. Example, the debate accentuated the differences between the two candidates. Accentuate features, commonly used in design, fashion, and art. Example, soft lighting accentuates facial features.
Accentuate the positive, to focus more on good aspects. Example, coaches encourage athletes to accentuate the positive. Often used in creative fields like fashion, photography, design, marketing, and communication.
Word number 5, reiterate. Part of speech, verb. Meaning, to repeat something, usually to make it clearer, more forceful, or more strongly understood. It is used when someone wants to make sure the message is fully heard or remembered. Example sentences. The teacher reiterated the instructions before the exam. He reiterated that safety was the company's top priority. I must reiterate that your participation is essential. Synonyms: repeat, restate, emphasize again, reinforce, echo. Word family. Reiteration. Noun, the act of repeating something for emphasis or clarity. Example, frequent reiteration helps students remember important rules. Reiterated. Adjective. Describes something that has been repeated several times. Example, the reiterated warning made everyone more cautious. Common uses and phrases. Reiterate a point. To repeat an idea to make it clear. Example, she reiterated her points till the team understood it. Reiterate instructions. To repeat directions. Example, the coach reiterated instructions before the match. Reiterate concerns, to express worries again. Example, parents reiterated concerns about school safety. Other information for learners. Very common in professional communication, meetings, customer service, politics, and education. Reiterate is formed by combining the prefix re, meaning again, with the verb iterate, which means to repeat or do something step by step. When these two parts come together, the word literally means to say or do something again and again, often for emphasis or clarity. The structure of the word itself reflects the meaning. Re, again, plus iterate, repeat.
showing that the action is repeated once more or even several times. This makes reiterate a stronger and more formal way to express repeating something, especially when ensuring that the listener understands it clearly.